training video, I explain how to write email in response to a request from someone. There are two keys to writing a successful response email. Give the readers what they want under the conditions they specify. Identify the key terms in the request and use them in your response. This is the request that Ben sends to Jean. Jean's company is developing a digital video system for Ben's company, a firm that surveys large land areas for developments. Ben receives digital video in various formats, and the system has to be able to play them all. When you receive a request like this, let the requester's words guide your response. Identify what the requester wants by looking at the words that the person uses. Then put the requester's actual words into your response. This is how you'll let the words guide you. When you receive a request, start to respond by finding the key terms. The first key terms are the interest or need key terms. These are words that show what the reader is interested in or needs that may not be in the questions he or she asks. In the example, the key terms are in blue. They are accept different types of video, play them so we can review landscapes without spending time converting the video, and make out distant areas. Ben has written those key terms because they represent things of special interest to him. Second, find the key terms for what the person specifically is asking for. They could be in questions or just in general statements. In the example, the requester asks two questions highlighted in red. In the email you receive, identify the questions and write them in a list in your notes. Finally, find key terms for the conditions under which the person wants the response. In the example, these key terms are in green: non-technical explanation, tomorrow afternoon, and email response. Note those and check them when you finish to make sure that your email is satisfying the conditions. Make notes using the key terms. In my own writing, I make a copy of the email and paste it at the beginning of the new email, and then I delete all of the text around the key terms and put carriage returns by pressing Enter after each key term. That puts each on its own line. You can then make a bold heading for the interest or need key terms, the request questions or key terms, and the conditions for delivery. Use these notes to write your email. This is the response Jean writes to Ben. Jean uses Ben's words in the subject line, your questions about the digital video player. If the reader doesn't know you, begin the email by introducing yourself. In this case, Jean knows Ben. Break with a blank line to show that the first part of the introduction is finished. Then write thanks for the request when appropriate. If you have any cordial words about what the writer has done, write them here. That builds the relationship. Explain why the reader is receiving this now by reminding the reader about the request. Use the same key terms the person used in the request. Jean refers to the digital video player and reminds Ben that he asked two questions. Jean repeats the questions. That reminds Ben of what he asked. Jean could have omitted them and gone directly into the first question, but our objective is to be so clear we cannot be misunderstood. Stating the questions here increases the likelihood that the reader will understand the message and benefit from it, especially when you're communicating with someone other than a coworker. This precision will give the reader the impression that you're organized and efficient. Jean ends by stating what's in the email. That closes the introduction and lets the reader know the first main point is coming up. In every email you write, other than simple back and forth emails with coworkers a short time apart, tell the reader why he or she is receiving this email and tell the reader what's in it. After stating the contents of the email, Jean breaks to begin the body of the message. Since she's responding to two questions Ben asked, Jean uses the questions from her notes to make the parts of the response clear. She bolds the questions and puts white space before and after them. She copies the questions so they appear much as Ben had worded them. Jean then answers the questions. She had noted these interest key terms: accept different types of video, play them so we can review landscapes without spending time converting the video, and make out distant areas. She made sure those key terms appeared in her answer to be sure she responded to what Ben wanted. That will give Ben the feeling that Jean really does understand his needs and is making an effort to respond to them. It continues to build the partnering relationship between the two. Every email can enhance the cooperation and regard that people have for each other if the email is pointedly responsive to the person's needs. It will build the partnering relationship you want to have with coworkers, clients, and vendors. After answering the second question, Jean breaks for the conclusion with a blank line. She writes cordially that Ben is invited to contact her for any other information, and she's looking forward to working with him to create a great product. She ends with her contact information. That lets the reader know that Jean really does want him to ask any questions he may have. Jean is continuing to build the partnering relationship with Ben. Jean writes clearly and effectively. These are the best practices she uses. She makes the idea blocks clear, skipping blank lines between the blocks. She indents the answers. Making blocks gives the reader the feeling the writing is clear and will impress him with the organized look. White space, indenting, and bold headings make the blocks stand out. When Jean starts a new idea, she makes a clear break for a new paragraph. The paragraphs are generally short. They average fewer than 7 lines. Jean writes clear, straightforward sentences. That communicates most easily and shows that she wants a partnering relationship. Her sentences are generally short, averaging fewer than 15 words. Short sentences are easier to understand. She breaks out the list of steps. Always break out lists. The old style of leaving lists in paragraphs created jumbles of words. Writers had to put semicolons between list items because the text was confusing. Break out all lists with numbers and bullets. It makes the points clearer. Write concisely. Eliminate deadwood words that don't add meaning. When we have good feelings and regard for someone, we speak in common, simple words. Jean uses plain English in her email to Ben. She doesn't use complex formal words like "as per your request" and "please advise" if you wish supplemental information on this matter. Those words say to the reader that he's just another customer. Jean uses the same clear, simple words she would use if she were speaking to a partner, a colleague she respects. These are the important points that result in clear, effective response emails. Use the requester's words in the subject line. Remind the reader about what he or she requested. State what's in the email. To be very explicit, list the questions the person asked. State the requester's questions as the requester wrote them, in bold, as headings. Use the requester's interest or need key terms throughout the explanations. As you're writing, watch the requester's conditions to make sure you follow them precisely. You can write clear response emails that give your readers exactly what they want under the conditions they specify. They will be pleased with your conscientious responses, and you'll take care of their needs so you don't receive a second email asking again for the information you didn't include in your response. Let their words guide your response.